The Sainsbury story started just over 150 years ago when John James and Mary Ann Sainsbury opened their first store on Drury Lane in London. One of the major challenges the organisation has faced in recent times has been how to adapt ourselves to rapidly changing customer demand while still preserving our reputation for quality and great value. Great technology is the enabler, but technical innovation hasn't always been our core skill set. Despite that history, earlier this year, Sainsbury's was recognised as being the best online supermarket by Which. We thought you might be interested to hear about some of the things which have happened along the way. Sainsbury's employs 180,000 people. Now, clearly, there are so many changes that have contributed to this amazing journey. We're here to share our perspectives on the story and share just a few of the changes which have been made on the way, which we think will be of interest to the DevOps community. I'm Nick Poulten, and I've been leading a team of Agile coaches within the infrastructure, platforms and workplace family in Sainsbury's Tech for the last 3 years. Previously, I was coaching in Lloyds Bank, and it seems like a long time ago now, but my background was in project and program management.
And I'm Ed Carr. I'm also an Agile coach. I lead the transformation coaching team, a central team of coaches focusing on provoking and inspiring transformation at the divisional level. We aim to address the systemic issues like finance processes or portfolio prioritization that can be really difficult to resolve from within one of our engineering domains. Before that, my career was mostly in product management at smaller technology organizations.
And hi everyone, I'm Stuart Richards. I'm the head of platform engineering within Sainsbury's Tech, responsible for end-to-end change and operations of all infrastructure, cloud, network, tooling, device, integration and modern workplace platforms across the Sainsbury's business. My aim today is to interject the story Nick and Ed will be telling with things I've learned along the way, not as any kind of ways of working transformation guru like these two, but as a direct leader of a number of teams to which this Sainsbury's story applies.
The world of retail, like many industries, has been massively disrupted and transformed by technology. It's a cliche, but our experience in Sainsbury's is very much that change is the only constant. We hope that the experiences we're sharing with you today will help you and your organisation as you face into your own challenges adapting to tomorrow's world. We definitely don't have all the answers, and we know that we still have a long way to go on our journey. In fact, who knows where we're going to end up? We've made plenty of mistakes along the way, together with the successes we've had, and we're going to share both of these with you today. So let's skip over the first 130 years or so of the journey and start from the point when Sainsbury's had a very large outsourcing contract with one of the giants of the IT industry. The strategy at the time was to outsource everything, and unsurprisingly, the focus was firmly on process, documentation, and contract negotiation. For a long time, the world of IT in Sainsbury's was ruled by the business case, the requirements catalogue, and the project initiation document, and everything had to progress through the dreaded gated review process. However, there was a definite realisation that this just wasn't working. There were a number of high-profile project failures and painful write-downs. IT just weren't providing value to the business. A calculation which was done to demonstrate the problem at the time says it all. The table stakes for the smallest possible project were £250,000. And that was the cost calculated for all the mandatory documentation and for following the prescribed governance processes without anything of value actually being delivered. And ultimately, this slow pace of change meant that we weren't able to give our customers the great experience we wanted to. So how did Sainsbury's do it? How did we get to where we are today, winning awards for our technology? Did we call an expensive consultancy in to help us modernise? Well, we're pleased to say we didn't. We did it our own way. Our leaders were brave and committed and owned the solution to the problem themselves. We've been carving out our own path on our own journey with our colleagues leading each other on the way. Ed, you've worked in Sainsbury's the longest. It feels right that you should pick up the story from the beginning.
Sure. So when I joined Sainsbury's back in 2015, we were in the early days of our attempt to transform and modernize the way that we approach technology. There were a couple of wrong turns in those early days, so I thought it might be worth just briefly exploring those. The first big push on transformation followed what in software I'd call a strangler pattern. If you're not familiar with the strangler pattern, it's a method for incrementally moving away from legacy monolith systems towards modern architecture. You build the new system slice by slice, slowly substituting features of the old system until the new one does everything the old one did, and then you can retire it. And that's basically what we tried to do with the IT organization. We created a shiny new digital division who worked in a lab in the basement of the office. We hired new people to work in that division and sold a vision of a modern technology organization with a startup type culture. And then we just aimed to move stuff bit by bit from IT and into digital. But we found that this kind of an approach just didn't work for us. The strategy alienated the people in the old IT division who felt that they weren't getting the same opportunities as those who were working in digital. And that resulted in all sorts of cultural clashes. The beer fridge incident is probably a good way of illustrating the